lot in common. My name is Madden Lopez. I'm a Black 5'6" genderqueer with Puerto Rican ancestry on my father's side. I'm wearing an all-black pantsuit. I have tattoos, piercings. Half of my head is shaved and the other half is in a dreadlock bun. I really loved what you had to say because it's the representation that I needed to hear, truly. One thing that I know about being a leader is that I'm a manifester. Things that I want for my community, I have to create. When I don't see it, we have to forge those things. And recently I asked my staff and my new associate director, who's been with me for about a year, game changer, what do we need? And they said that we needed HR. Bad. We couldn't be the ones making the decisions and fighting for the rights of our staff. And no sooner than when I mentioned it did we get a call from one of our trust-based funders saying, hey, we have a grant for you for wellness, what do you want to use it on? Half we used specifically to bring in HR that was based in anti-supremacist work, and the other half I used to take my staff to Disneyland for Pride Night. Because wellness looks like many things. It looks like building inside and outside, together and alone. And I want to talk to y'all a little bit about what it means when you have trust in yourself and when the folks around you trust you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen and folks in between, distinguished guests, fellow advocates for change, I stand before you today as Madden Lopez, and I am a foster care success story. I'm a genderqueer speculative activist. I'm a feminist, an aspiring quiet egotist, a recovering born-again Christian, an oil and water combination of ambition, laziness, insecurity, certainty, and drive. It is my mission to grow towards a world free of houselessness through intergenerational healing and self-worth implementation. I'm all about radical vulnerability, which is why I really loved what we've gotten to experience today, so I'm gonna also be vulnerable with you all. The only way that we can move forward is by avenging the suffering of our ancestors, earning respect to future generations, and being transformed in the service of the work. And so I want to share with y'all how we do that with my organization. My organization is called Project Q. Project Q invites Black and brown trans youth to build trust, accountability by way of access to representation, wraparound services, self-discovery, and creating equity through cycles of success. It is an honor to share my story with you all, but more importantly, I want to share how my specific experience informs a view of tomorrow's philanthropic shift. Today, I urge all of you to embrace a trust-based approach, to rethink our strategies and to foster a profound sense of empathy. By doing so, we can truly make a difference in our communities and build a more equitable world. Reliability, integrity, and empathy are the cornerstones upon which trust is built within our communities. They serve as guiding principles for our interactions, whether in business or in philanthropy. We must tilt towards a dynamic by embracing the concepts of H.Y.L.P. This is what I'm calling it. High yield, low proof type of funding. And Robin Hooding, which is something I also made up, while fundamentally shifting our mindset. At Project Q, we have a strong focus on harm reduction as we work towards ending homelessness. It's important to align our funding sources and our values in the same way. For instance, we would be cautious of accepting funding from organizations that helped fuel the opioid crisis, for instance. We want our constituents to exercise the same discretion when seeking resources and find funders that are equally committed to securing a peaceful future for our communities. Representation is a key aspect in the work that we do. We believe in showing up for our community in an ethical way because building trust matters. Our integrity comes from within and should be reflected in how we allocate resources. It's crucial to us that we ask questions of our youth not just to meet quotas, but to genuinely understand their needs. Similarly, we expect our funders to see us as more than just statistics, and checked boxes in their diversity, equity, and inclusion commitments. True integrity in DEI requires a transformative shift across the entire team, not just surface-level commitments. As someone who has experienced housing insecurity, as a queer youth of color, I consistently check on my own intentions and ensure they align with the best interests of my young people. It's a reminder to stay true to our mission and prioritize the well-being of those we serve. We believe that integrity in DEI goes beyond words and requires real institutional change. By upholding these values, we aim to make a positive and lasting impact. I know how to help youth struggling with homelessness. I know how to help youth that are living out of their cars. I know how to help youth that are just trying to keep a job, stay clean, and move into a space of stability, because I did it. My funders trust that I know that. I'm thankful that there are people in my life that have not had to experience these things. But what I do know is that they're going to turn to me for the genius that I have in those experiences. Now, let us delve into transformative power of H.Y.L.P and Robin Hooding. H.Y.L.P, or high yield, low proof, presents us with an opportunity to prioritize impactful projects while reducing the burden of proof required for successful grant applications. I'm going to share a little tidbit here. I was able to be on a granting board, and it was an innovative grant, but they were not judging the grants coming in an innovative way. How are we to expect change if we are not instituting it ourselves? Ooh. Robin Hooding, on the other hand, represents a philosophy and approach to philanthropy that seeks to bridge the gap between those with access to financial resources and those without. Steal from the rich, give to the poor, yes, yes, yes. It aims to redistribute resources and positively impact underserved communities. The combination of these two things has brought collective empowerment to the nonprofit industry in a transformative way. It brings together individuals and organizations to pool resources and create a powerful force for change. It blends innovation, financial models with mission-driven approach for nonprofits and sustainability. Together, these approaches empower nonprofit organizations to tackle complex social challenges, like how do we get these kids off the street, expand their reach to more kids that need homes, and make a meaningful difference in their communities. For instance, like employing houseless, trans, undocumented folks, which is what Project Q does. Having a lack of an address is the least of their worries. So why should they also have to worry about being represented in a space and having their gender identity ripped to shreds? Since Project Q focuses on leveraging the trust that our funders have in us to take a chance on our most marginalized community members, those youth now have stability after building skills within our walls. Today, I want you all to recognize the importance of shared values and collective effort. Moving towards a more equitable society necessitates collaboration and shared understanding of the significance of trust, empathy, and guiding principles. As we embark on the bold vision, let us acknowledge the power of trust. By prioritizing trust, we move closer to a society where the voices and needs of all communities are valued and heard. I am a Black, queer punk from the San Fernando Valley. When you take a chance on somebody like me, you give the younger community someone to look up to and they can take a chance on themselves. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Betty Avia, Executive Director of Self-Help Graphics and Art.